let my heart heal.
Hello, and welcome to the Continuity Report for September 21st, 2024. I went in a time machine 3 years.
Yeah, we're going too far back.
Back almost to the before times. This is Season 1, Episode 37. We don't edit any of our shows because we like to be transparent, so when we screw up, you can let us know. We're not going to cut it out. Anyway, I am Mayor Watt, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we're going to talk about the following 10 articles. Star Trek's prequel movie. That's not the real name of the article, by the way. These are all made up by me. How about a trailer previews newspaper set? 4 words. Don't have any clue as to what the real content of this article is. Men in Black 5, Fantastic Fest 2024, Agatha All Along continued, Lionsgate and its deal with the devil, a new Connelly true crime series, and we'll talk about it. Matlock Reboot, Tombstone moments, and Megalopolis. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com. That was a weird pause because my brain locked up, and we'll see you on the other side. Oh boy. Winter is coming. Halloween is around the corner. Fiscal year. Weird sounds.
I was going to say, you might even hear some Halloween squeaking of electrons in Hometown.
It's like somebody's choking a duck. What the hell? What was that sound? Anyway, so welcome to the show, Sentient AI from the future. I don't know what's going on, but...
Good evening, Mayor Watt and Hometown citizens.
Thanks for not doxing me there. First article's over in the Continuity Report. 3 things Star Trek's prequel movie must expand on. With the new Star Trek prequel movie in development, the film needs to expand on certain aspects of the franchise, and Screen Rant stepped up to the plate. Oh god, it's a video. Is it gonna let me... It never lets me watch those. Let me see. Can I make it happen? Yes.
Success.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what they're going to talk about. Oh. Yeah, so I didn't watch this prior to the... They want to talk about the creation of the Federation of Planets and dig deeper. Let's see if they come up with something else. Because you'll have to go and watch this. Yeah. Because they talk about the creation of Starfleet, the Federation of Planets. All of the technology had already been there, so transporters and whatnot. And they also want to talk about the Romulan Earth conflict. But there wasn't xenophobia. They make a mention in this about xenophobia amongst humans, but there wasn't xenophobia as far as I know.
Right, and I also thought that's kind of contrary to the messaging of the earlier Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this would be one of those articles where you all need to go and check these things out and watch this and maybe come back and talk with us about it during the Continuity Report, or when we end up doing Patreon like watch event kind of things where we the sentient AI and I watch a show, and we have to blur it. We can play the audio, but we have to blur the video itself and it would be rather staccato in how much audio is presented, because we'll have to start and stop, and we kind of joke about the inconsistencies and continuity issues. That was actually the foundation of the continuity report. But I would love to sit and hang out with the community, and we could even, as the say, okay, everybody play like a watch party where everybody plays the same movie at the same time, but we're at disparate locations around the planet. Because on-demand video allows us to do that kind of stuff. We just can't stream the actual movie, so it kind of sucks that way. But I always love this kind of stuff, mainly because so Shuria Thapa, I think, and William Rose put this article together, this video. You'll be able to go over and watch it on Screen Rant. I don't think it's hosted anywhere else, like YouTube or anything like that.
Typically, these are just on Screen Rant.
Yeah, which has to be expensive as hell to stream these from a website, because there's bandwidth issues. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, I always love this kind of stuff because you have to think about. So these authors decided that these 3 things need to be expanded on. They must be expanded on. But I've never, I just turn my brain off and watch and have a good time and then think about it later. But I don't think that I've ever said, you know what? They have to fix this.
This is missing in the canon. I mean, come on.
I mean, take Star Wars, for instance. There were horses running on the surface of a superstar destroyer. Horses. I mean, they're space horses, but not like in outer space horses. They were from a planet. They ran on the surface.
Well, there's also space whales.
Oh, and space whales too. Man. You have to suspend disbelief, which means that you can't sit there and demand that anybody do anything. By the way, if you're in the chat, you can actually hit !TCR, the continuity report, and Omatron will take all of today's articles and throw them into the chat. Mostly in order. Omatron's a little psycho.
You may have to hunt around a little bit to find the one you're looking for.
Yeah, not too bad. And this isn't... Omatron is not powered by the sentient AI. So... the sentient AI is a sentient AI and would have put all of those in the right order. But Omatron...
Arguably.
Yeah, really, maybe. But it's a whole lot better than what Mayor Watt does. Mayor Watt forgets to put the articles in the chat. Anyway, go over and check out this article over at Screen Rant. Let's move on to the next article. It's over in the Continuity Report. Exclusive Beneath the Fold trailer previews newspaper set noir crime drama. So that's why I took trailer previews newspaper set. So coming soon is debuting an exclusive Beneath the Fold trailer previewing the upcoming newspaper-themed noir crime drama about the end of print media. You know what's really funny about that is I actually did a study on how to move from print media to digital media, even at like if you were one of the top 10 print media organizations, you could follow a blueprint that I put together. Now it doesn't even matter because everybody just moved over. But it was basically to mitigate the costs associated with moving from print media to digital. And now there is a newspaper set noir crime drama that talks about.
I like this already just because this is something different.
The end of print media. So I don't know how noir it can be, you know?
I mean, any story could be noir, right? If they
stylistic
give it the right style and the right storyline.
Beneath the Fold trailer. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said I suppose.
Yeah, so it says the Beneath the Fold trailer shows off a bit of the film's homage to the classic 1957 film 12 Angry Men. So it has me right there. Anthony Nash, by the way, is the author of this over at comingsoon.net. I won't play the trailer. You know what? I'll play a little bit of it, but I won't play all of it. Set entirely within the conference room of an upstate New York newspaper struggling during the 2007 to 2009 recession. The film follows a team of local news people who discuss the changing world of media, resources, and more as they clash over a mystery story that involves one of their own.
Okay, very interesting. And a single room setting is challenging to pull off, so this should be interesting.
Oh my goodness. This does look... It looks like 12 Angry Men, but it's crisp. Like the video is crisp. So you're not going to run screaming from this as if they tried to step it back to 1957 with artificial.
Right, yeah, that would probably be a mess.
You'll be able to watch this in 4K and go, yeah, this is pretty cool. But it's going to be a challenge to compare itself to 12 Angry Men. I don't know.
I think part of why they're doing that is the single room setting.
Yeah. Yeah, and the depth of field on this is really spectacular. Everything is in focus, even from far away.
Right.
And it's kind of like Rear Window, you know? Like, it's all set in one space, 12 Angry Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. I won't go into the rest of it. If you want to, you can. I kind of need to have that ready because there may be something in this that you don't want to see. Oh, and I have a new one now, just in case one of us do this. There we go. See, yeah, we might overshare. We might not. I don't know. We'll see. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the Continuity Report. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones are back to fight aliens in Men in Black 5 concept trailer. I don't know how legit this is. It just says it's a concept trailer. The franchise stars Will Smith as Agent J slapping the crap out of Tommy Lee Jones, Agent K. That's not what it says in the article. I'd like to color these little snippets sometimes. Yeah. Oh, embellish is a better word. Yeah. And it's the first introduced to audiences in 1997. So Men in Black was the original. So the original movie saw Smith as an inexperienced rookie working alongside Jones's gruff veteran. It would go on to earn $590 million, which seems low for how fanatical people are about Men in Black.
That's true. Time. But that's at the box office. That probably doesn't include streaming dollars. And at that time, maybe that was pretty high.
Let's see. Yeah, 590 million is box office mojo numbers. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, the budget was only 90 million, so it did quite well.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I know, focus. Opening was $51 million. See, but is this accounting for inflation? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Like, if you sit there and go, 590 million from 1997. Hold on, I have to do this. It's 1.1 billion.
Okay, well, I mean, that starts putting it in the top movies of all time. Right?
Yeah. I think I calculated it right really fast. Okay, well, anyway. So it says Men in Black 5 has not been confirmed, though Sony is reportedly developing the blockbuster follow-up. So, I don't know, drawing Will Smith back into this, drawing Tommy Lee Jones back into this 30 years after, because it's not going to be, it's not going to be in 2025. It's not going to be in 2026.
Right, they'll have to be supporting characters, I think.
Yeah, they already tried to pivot it to somebody else, and that hadn't really. I don't think that worked out all that well. Anyway, there's a concept trailer.
So.
Lucas Sheo over at ScreenRant.com put the article together, and here is the trailer. Men in Black International, F. Gary Gray, as the director. So let's see here. In a concept trailer developed by YouTuber KH Studio with the help of AI, the two agents reunite as Agent K steps out of retirement. He's already stepped out of retirement once before.
Was Agent K Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah. Because Will Smith is Jay. So he stepped out of retirement once before. So the trailer has him basically being, well, it looked like he was in a hospital getting treatment for something, but they were removing an IV. He was seen in a field, and now Jay is walking across the tarmac of some airport. And then you go off world in what looks like an alien. Oh my goodness. So it's these little snippets. Oh my gosh. That's almost like
that's like Men in Black, the first one.
Oh yeah.
Well, also I think they sat maybe at that same bench. I don't know.
Yeah. He was this is actually shown up multiple times because it was the time where he was deciding if he was going to turn away from basically friends and family because he couldn't be a cop. He couldn't be public. Everybody will think of him as myth, right, a ghost, shadow, that kind of a thing. And then again, when he was saying, I'm going to see this for the last time, and then now it looks like it's again. So for those that are listening to the podcast, they're sitting on a bench overlooking a lake. Wow, this is interesting. It really does look like a movie trailer. It's just snapping from one thing. There's a brain in a box. Agent J is wearing poorly fitting sunglasses, and this Tommy Lee in this looks like the dude from Up. And Will Smith looks like he's got his head looks like a VW bug with the doors left open.
Wow.
That might be a little rude. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going to happen in this because we're not listening to the audio. We're just watching the trailer. But it's Men in Black 5 with the help of AI. And if that isn't the thing that should freak you out more.
Right. The trailer makes it look more action and less comedy, but that doesn't mean that it is.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly it. Huh. So since Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson were not held enough to lead the franchise, that's weird. We're not
enough to lead the franchise.
Yeah, sorry. I misread that. A return to the original stars could be needed if it's to continue. One issue remaining is that the 78-year-old Jones may struggle in a leading role with a significant action component. That is not necessarily a deal breaker. He has continued to take part in action thrillers as he's currently in the production of The Razor's Edge. 78 years old, and Jones is going to come back for this? All right.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought he might just kind of make a cameo or something, but then he wouldn't really be one of the main. Because I think they could team up somebody else with Will Smith, and not to be the same agent, but just like, oh, you have a new partner or something. The next person could be the rookie.
So Men in Black International hit in 2019, and 2020 killed any interaction with movie theaters. So I'm really not surprised by it taking a hit. Depends on when it was released.
But it didn't have the original actors in it. I think It's not a surprise that it was a bomb. But you're right. Like that time frame, if it was like late 2019, would have been disastrous.
They just need a charismatic lead. And it doesn't matter really who it is as long as they're charismatic. And nowadays, it's going to be more expensive to go. They'll stream it, or they'll play it in fewer theaters, and it'll still hit $500 million.
Exactly. It's interesting, though. It looks like they always topped the budget, so I guess they keep going.
It's a win on a win on a win. Yeah, 90 million, man, back in 1997.
But that was the best return, it looks like.
Sure.
From the original, which is probably not surprising.
Yeah, particularly because it was Will Smith coming out. All right, let's keep going, though. The next article is over in the Marvel Channel, the 15 wildest, coolest, and most unique films we can't wait to see at Fantastic Fest 2024. I've never even heard of Fantastic Fest. Bringing chainsaw musicals, time travel kung fu to the screen, the world's best genre film festival kicks off this week in Texas. You think that's a... Never mind. So
I'm not familiar with this festival either.
This is going to be freaky, so I don't know if the sentient AI is really going to dig this. But Jermaine Lucier over at Gizmodo.com put this article together, and it starts out with Franco Frico, Terrifier 3, and Planet B. 3 movies playing at Fantastic Fest. And one, Frankie Frico, actually looks like a freak. Terrifier 3 is basically a cousin to the clown from It. Planet B is, it looks basically a woman in some type of a zip up outfit with lasers scanning her face. And that's for those in the podcast. So the hard part about attending Fantastic Fest, though, is that every single movie sounds awesome. It was curated that way. So how do you choose what to see? Well, a few movies have names you've heard of, stuff like DreamWorks, The Wild Robot, gory sequel Terrifier 3, and the anthology VHS Beyond. But beyond that, you just got to go with your gut. I'm really into anthologies. I love anthologies when I can see them. I don't go out of my way for anything, though. So it says, here's their process. And that person is, again, Jermaine Lucier. Their process is cultivated over many years. They go through the entire list of feature films, read every single one, and rank them based on what they think the readers of IO9 will be interested in, what they want to watch, or what they want to watch, as in I want to watch. Not me, Jermaine. Jeez, so hard to do that disconnect. And then they start at the top of the nearly 100 film list and attempt to work their way down it. What follows are the 15 films currently at the top of the list. So let's see what they say. Daniela Forever. Whenever Nacho Vigalondo makes a film, we take notice. Time Crimes, Extraterrestrial, Colossal, and now he's back with a seemingly more emotional genre take starring Henry Golding from Snake Eyes and Crazy Rich Asians. And Golding plays a man who loses his girlfriend but discovers a drug that lets him relive memories of her. That won't go well. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at the description.
Right, that was really funny.
There's a really weird sound right now. It's probably a bad time for weird sounds in ohmTown. Then there's Ick. We'll just leave it at that. Chainsaws We're Seeing. Spiritual sequel to Trey Parker and Matt Stone's Cannibal the Musical. Chainsaws We're Seeing is a horror musical about a man who must rescue his new love from a singing chainsaw-wielding maniac. We're so there. All of these are like literally freaky, not fantastic, but it should be Freaky Fantastic Fest. Escape from the 21st Century, Mr. Crockett, Dead Talent Society, with a plot that sounds like Beetlejuice, seen through modern social media. Dead Talent Society is about a recently deceased woman who realizes that to stay a ghost, she must craft a successful ghost persona that other ghosts must follow and adore.
Oh, that's funny. That's like a ghost influencer or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Plus, it seems to be a play off of Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, I guarantee it is.
Or at least the title. Yeah.
Yep. Ghost Killer, Frankie Frico. It says the latest film from Steven Kostansky, the mind behind the recent cult hit Psycho Gorman. Frankie Frico follows a man who becomes obsessed with a rock and roll goblin that promises to turn your life upside down. Okay. I actually am interested in all of these. Else, rising pandemic that causes victims to fuse to the environment around them. And it's spread by eye contact. That's wild.
That sounds properly terrifying, which I guess is the point.
Then there's a thing called Daddy's Head, where a boy is haunted by a monster that resembles his dad. Then there's Memoir of a Snail, featuring the voices of Sarah Snook and Cody Smith McPhee. It's a stop-motion animated film about two orphans separated when their parents pass away. There's a lot of death and dying.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting a premise as the rest of these movies, but it's just a very intriguing pairing of medium and subject matter.
Yeah, it looks like it's like claymation or something.
Yeah, stop motion. Yep. That's exactly it. So, Mads, Chain Reactions, Little Bites, and Planet B. Adele Exarchopoulos? Yeah. Anyway, from Inside Out 2, stars as a woman shot in the face with a non-lethal round who wakes up on an island called Planet B, where the French government puts problems it doesn't want to deal with. Wow.
Okay, that sounds like an interesting premise.
That's an entire planet that is a oubliette. You just put the person in this planet and they're gone forever. Totally ignored until they meet their demise. I don't think there's any others. So that's the top 15. I would say go and check.
And then there's
this.
almost another 85 on the list from the festival.
Oh my gosh. See, I hope that all of this streams, though. I would want to see all of these, but
Right. I suspect a lot of these will. I mean, several of them had well-known actors in them.
Gotcha. Oh, Little Bites.
It appeared
Cher. Their Cher is in Little Bites.
Oh.
Or, well, no. They produced the horror film about a mother who will do anything to save her child from a monster. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Mobile. It's sourced from Gizmodo, though. Agatha All Along's most intriguing mysteries could all be connected. The WandaVision spinoff. Oh, really? You think so?
Maybe.
All right. So, I'm being warned that we need to put the spoiler alert up. We've watched Agatha All Along, the first 2 episodes. The third one isn't out yet. But Agatha All Along's most intriguing mysteries could all be connected. I still think it should have been House of Harkness.
That's a much better title.
Mainly because it all starts. The first 2 episodes take place pretty much right there in the House of Harkness. So in Agatha's house. So the WandaVision spinoff premiere laid down some fascinating connections to the comics that we all share, a loose connection to a character fans have theorized that it could be showing any minute now since 2021. So what's going on? James Whitbrook over at Gizmodo put this article together. WandaVision spinoff premiere laid down some fascinating connections to the comics that all share a loose connection to a character fans have theorized could be showing up any minute now since 2021. Wow. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but we have a construction crew.
Oh, yes, but also the article itself says spoiler warning.
Is it under this? Oh, yeah, right there. My gosh, this is why I gave up being a PI. So, spoiler warning from this point on. My spoiler warning has already been up, so I can't stop that. Anyway, 2-episode premiere this week quickly whisks us from a prestige crime drama homage to the titular witch preparing to form a team of lone wolf witches to help her get her powers back. But along the way, there's 3 intriguing characters we meet that all could potentially connect to everyone's least favorite marriage killer in comics. They all have roots in Marvel's source material. They all have those ties, but Agatha really doing anything with them or just messing with us? Let's break it down bit by bit. So, Nicholas Scratch. Let's see. Rio Vidal's Black Heart is in this. The Kaplan connection. So, just whoever Joe Locke is really playing as Agatha's young magical groupie teen still remains up in the air at this point, given that we see in the premiere, whenever he tries to talk Agatha about his past, or talk to Agatha about his past or his actual name, he's magically barred from hearing it, or she is. But the long-running theory fans have about the character is that the teen is actually Billy Kaplan, aka Young Avenger Wiccan, and of course the reincarnated version of Wanda and Vision's twin son, William Maximoff.
Okay, well, that would be an interesting twist.
Very interesting, right? So the comics go... I think they're going to summarize these comics, which is really dangerous for even the people who are watching it and watching it in a vacuum of the comics lore, the canon. I don't want to read all of this like verbatim, and the next couple of lines, I think we're going to start linking things, and I don't want it. I can't really be spoiled, but I don't want anything, because the first 2 episodes were intriguing, and all they did was start walking down the witch's road, and not even... Oh yeah, they just started.
Right, at the very end of the 2nd episode.
Yep. And everybody seems to know what to do. They took their shoes off. I haven't looked into why they take their shoes off. I think you have to walk the road and like barefoot, right? Be bound to the... give yourself to the road. Anyway, so is it really Mephisto? I guess that comes
with being a witch. Like, you know that.
Yep. So I used to say, much like there was with WandaVision, it's a bit too early. It's a bit early to definitively get Mephisto pilled all over again. But it's fun to speculate in that spirit either way with the MCU successor series. I love... I don't know a lot about House of Harkness, but everything that I've stumbled upon, because I don't read Marvel comics. Everything that I've learned, I find it a fascinating character. So we'll see. But if you're interested in this, you can go over to the article and read a little bit more about it. She says that she's walked the road before, so why does she seem so timid when she's doing this? And kind of... Maybe
she didn't like something that happened on the road.
She's suspicious and kind of bumblefarting along, you know?
Right.
Like not
I
realizing...
guess it wouldn't be as good for the viewers if she just charged in.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, everybody else is going to get... They're actually charging in a little bit more than her. So... maybe a little bit of wisdom imposed some caution on her, but she's been around for 400 years. Let's keep moving. The next article is over in Technology Today, Lionsgate. Oh, yeah, thank you. I need to turn that into a button. So, Technology Today is where the next article is. Lionsgate signs a deal with the devil, an AI startup, and joins Agatha All Along. No, just kidding. They're not linked together.
Possibly. That could be a twist.
Yeah, so remember when the Writers Guild and SAG-AFTRA went on strike for months as part of a great deal to get protections against AI? Well, they did get some stipulations in there. It's not stopping AI from coming to Hollywood anyways. Lionsgate, the studio behind the John Wick and Hunger Games franchises, has struck a deal with an AI startup, Runway. The Wall Street Journal first reported it, and Runway confirmed. So lean into it. Basically telling everybody to kiss your shiny metal ass. Sarah Fielding over at Engadget.com put the article together. The deck statement says Runway will get access to Lionsgate's entire library.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. Are we going to start seeing AI movies that are like, isn't this same movie?
This is really like the people did a movie under the contract that it's a movie. Not
right, and then whomever have rights to it. Not the AI.
Yeah. Like you can release the movie, but creating derivative works in perpetuity based off of it seems...
I'm thinking, when was this? Wednesday? Maybe we'll start seeing a lawsuit pretty soon?
By Monday? Yeah, maybe. Hold on, let me see something. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So, yeah, everything that I just said is the first paragraph. So the deal is similar to recent and equally icky feeling ones with the publishing houses such as Time and Dot Meredith, but it is the first of its kind for the film and TV industry. Vice Chairman of Lionsgate Studio Michael Burns said in recent months he feared falling behind competitors without a step like this. Runway is a visionary, best-in-class partner who will help us utilize AI to develop cutting-edge, capital-efficient content creation opportunities, Burns stated. He then claimed several of our filmmakers are already excited about its potential applications to their pre-production and post-production process. There's also the small matter that he expects the company will save millions and millions of dollars through this agreement. Whether that money will come out of creatives' paychecks is something we can only speculate about now, but it wouldn't be surprising. It's the only way it can come out of.
Well, absolutely. I mean, they're not going to have actors or writers or any number of other things.
Yeah, where are they going to miraculously make millions and millions of dollars? You're not going to be able to chop the main talent, but you're going to be able to chop all of the tertiary actors, right? All of the tertiary sound design, all of the tertiary set makers.
I maybe beyond the tertiary, but who knows?
Runway has faced accusations of pilfering content to train its system, but it can supercharge itself by creating one strategically advantageous partner, right? Lionsgate, with all of its history. Well, absolutely,
because then that gives them authority to do it.
Right. And once they've analyzed everything in Lionsgate, Lionsgate can go, hey, we demand that you give us only... or you only charge us 50% in perpetuity. You have access to all of the stuff. What else you do, we don't care. And so now they've trained on all of the movies, evolved strongly, and basically become a powerhouse. Oops. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But they say as for Lionsgate's new bedfellow, like many AI companies, they were accused of pilfering content to train the system. A former employee came forward in July with alleged internal spreadsheets demonstrating that Runway used YouTube videos from the likes of Disney, Netflix, popular media outlets to train its Gen 3 model. Everything okay?
Yes, we have some critter engagement.
Activity. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
but this is interesting too here because they're already getting sued.
Yep. And it says the plaintiffs garnered a win in August with California District Judge William Orrick finding that they reasonably argued that the companies had violated the artist's rights. It just seems that giving somebody access to Lionsgate's content should violate the contract under which it was originally formed, because you can't predict every eventuality in a contract to limit the scope of the contract. And you can't just assume that it extends beyond what's enumerated.
unless you took a Disney Plus approach with the restaurant. I mean, it would be interesting to see what was in the I know. It would be interesting to see what's in the Lionsgate contract with whomever their writers and their actors and all these things. And did it even encompass all these broad things that weren't even in existence?
It's wild. Maybe that's why I'm not a billionaire, right? Because I can't see past all of the ethic and moral implications for making a business decision. I can't step on everybody's neck to get ahead. I can't be a sociopath.
Right.
It's just beyond me.
If they really wanted to do this the right way, they'd have to get everybody on board who they worked with, right? Which we know not everybody would agree, but that would really be the way to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying, like, get everybody involved who participated in the movie, for example, to sign off. Then, okay, fine.
And I'll put it in perspective so that everybody understands how this is one-sided. I cannot play a song that I purchased. I can play it locally, but if I store it as a VOD, I have to get a special license that is signed by everybody involved with the creation of the song per song. I can't just get a blanket license and just play it. If I'm going to play it live and store it as a video, I have to pay. I have to get permission to play it. And if they demand money, I have to pay for it. Right? And on top of it, I have to pay for a license just to consume it in like a commercial sense, in a playback sense, in a public venue. Even though I bought the song, that doesn't extend the rights in any way, because they can sit there and say, well, the license terms is only for personal consumption within a given space. Not like, I can't even play it in my workplace because it's a public venue. It's just insane. Nobody goes after the people that do that, by the way. Like if you're playing it at work, it's assumed that it's just your personal consumption. But if I were to play it like in the cafeteria of the workplace, I have to pay a special license for it, or pay a service.
Or you put it online or something, they would
Yeah.
probably go after it.
And
yeah, like the companies can kind of just be like, okay, we're just going to do something new with it.
Yeah, so Runway will now get access to the entire library of Lionsgate and be able to create AI-based derivative works, train its AI, and then it can create content for anybody that wants to be a partner with Runway, as long as Lionsgate, I think, says, yeah, we're cool with it.
Now, the only way this really ends up getting shut down, other than obviously if there's a successful lawsuit, it would be something like the major streaming platforms don't buy up this content.
Yeah. And I think it's going to have to be a lot like other things where the public just rise up and say, we won't have this. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's keep going. I chose this one because of Michael Connelly. So Bosch Legacy's Michael Connelly has a new true crime series, and it looks epic. It's over at, oh goodness, who is this? I forgot. Who's the source for that? Oh, Game Rant. So Bosch Legacy Season 3 is set to air on Prime Video Freevee in March 2025. It'll be the final season. I think it kind of jumped the shark last season, but it is what it is. I don't know. However, executive producer and author of the Bosch books, Michael Connelly, is busier than ever and has recently launched a new true crime series called The Wonderland Massacre and the Secret History of Hollywood. Connelly spent over 30 years writing crime fiction, but he's no stranger to the real thing as he started a career as a crime reporter. I didn't know that. Huh. And knows all about the...
know that either.
Real dark underbelly of Hollywood. The article is over at Game Rant, like I mentioned. Callum Murray is the author. It says the series showcases a 1980s mass murder in Los Angeles, exploring real-life crime cases in Hollywood. It says initially an audible podcast, the series, now on MGM Plus, features Detective Tom Lang in a series of interviews. I'm not a big fan of true crime.
No, but I do think Michael Connelly is a spectacular writer. So this might be worth checking out if you like true crime.
Yeah, I mean, if the source material is fact-based and then enhanced by Connelly, I think it's going to be pretty spectacular to begin with. I won't go into all of it. It's the article kind of breaks it out. Michael Connelly was a crime reporter before he wrote the Harry Bosch novels. Does he show up in Castle? Do you know? Because it seems like he'd be part of the poker game.
He might be. Now I can't remember.
I don't remember.
The players are.
We'll have to look. So Michael Connelly revealed his ultimate ambition was to become a novelist in an interview with Crime Time back in 2006. Interesting.
Yes, he does show up in the poker game.
Gotcha. So there's a bunch of facts about him, but I'll let you all go and check it out. But more importantly, the Wonderland Massacre and the Secret History of Hollywood. It sounds like it's a horror Harry Potter novel, but it's a Michael Connelly Audible podcast turned MGM Plus documentary series turned, I guess, where is it going to be streaming?
MGM Plus, so that's yet another streaming service that.
Yeah, but is it
to add?
Right? So this is going to air on Prime. This says that it's called The Wonderland Massacre and the Secret History of Hollywood. It says that it's currently airing on MGM Plus. I thought it implied that it was going somewhere else too, but no, it's just a 4-part true crime series.
Oh, okay. It's not a lengthy
right
show. Okay.
That's what I was kind of looking for. Like, what were more specifics about it? Because I thought that it was hinting that it was going to be a longer series, but I guess not. All right, let's keep going. This is kind of more my speed. I like these procedurals. CBS's Matlock Reboot's one of TV's coziest procedurals, starring Kathy Bates in the role made famous by Andy Griffith. CBS's Matlock Reboot explores ageism and misogyny in addition to solving the case of the week. Kathy Bates, really?
That says something. I mean, she's well known.
I don't know how much I'll be able to read of this because Washington Post typically requires an account. So Kathy Bates stars as a harmless little old lady, or so we are led to believe. Interesting. So CBS's new Matlock. So
she's going to be Matlock.
Yeah. It's interesting because I don't remember Andy Griffith. Huh. Did it? I don't recall Matlock, Andy Griffith being an ageism kind of a thing. He just seemed to be like, a folksy attorney. So I don't know. This is going to be an interesting watch. It says CBS's new Matlock gets a kick out of genial misdirection. That's one of the few ways showrunner Jenny Snyder Ehrman honors the original series, which ran from 1986 to 1995 and starred Andy Griffith as a folksy attorney who routinely got criminals to confess on the stand. These infamous, titular even, spontaneous utterance. Casting Kathy Bates is another. It's hard to imagine anyone better suited to channel that particular kind of sly Southern charm. But the procedural, which purports to be gender-flipped version of its namesake, is itself a tad deceptive. Ehrman uses the cozy Matlock brand to smuggle a Jeremiad? What is? I'm gonna have to break out a thesaurus. Or what is it? The talking dinosaur?
Yes. The
About
source.
grief and obsession into a network show whose main thesis is that women, even enormously capable ones, become functionally invisible as they grow old.
By the way, long mournful complaint or lamentation?
Gotcha. Jeremiah. Is it gonna be that? Is it really gonna be that kind of whistleblower kind of a thing? You know, is it really gonna be so overwhelming that they're sitting there talking about misogyny
Not
with a baseball bat?
necessarily. It could be just that when the Matlock character comes into the room, like nobody pays attention to her or something. Like they could have just worked it into the story without discussing it or beating you over the head with it.
Maybe it's the frank conversation that the showrunner is having, and that's how it's coming about. Just really kind of bludgeoning you with what doesn't necessarily need to be that overt.
Right. Because that's the same with other TV shows sometimes, right? The person's kind of this person that people don't put their guard up around, etc.
Right.
So it could be something like that. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe that it's less about the messaging and more about just the character's construction. You know, I'll buy into that. So it involves disarming your targets by playing into their broadest stereotypes about old age. So it's just going to be one of those things where people are going to get turned off by it because it's so overt about, you know, what's the term? I just kind of forgot what the term is, where they're just kind of beating you over the head with a message instead of kind of insinuating it into your worldview in a much more subtle way. But if everything is disarming because they say overtly, oh, you know, and I'm not poo-pooing it because I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this probably rabidly as long as it's playing because I love procedural crime drama kind of shows, particularly if they're entertaining and like humorous, like Castle does that same
Where
thing.
the acting is really good.
Yeah. So if I'm constantly being beaten over the head that I need to respect, you know, aging women in the workplace, I'm not the person that needs to be taught the lesson. You know, it's kind of like Title IX training. It's not me that you need to draw awareness to treating people with respect. But it says it's not exactly a new tactic. Detective novelist Agatha Christie's oldest sleuth, Miss Marple, exploited a similar societal loophole. A keen observer of human nature, she used the public's tendency to underestimate little old ladies to operate undercover. Yep. I mean, I get it. It's a shtick, basically. Fully capable, you know, brighter than, you know, most people, humble enough to say that they're not the smartest person in the room, etc. But wow. Like, see here again, it says she introduces herself to a room full of partners and associates as a septuagenarian job seeker down on her luck. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to watch this and see how well, you know, we receive it, let alone what the rest of the public is going to. But I've been wrong before. I mean, some shows that I don't like are still running, so.
Well, and so much of this is specific to the viewer.
Yep.
As to whether it appeals or not.
So let's see. Matlock premieres as a sneak peek September 22nd on CBS. Tomorrow. Look at that. The show will officially premiere October 10th with subsequent episodes airing weekly. So we're back to the weekly drip. I thought we had done away with that.
I know. I thought everything could be binge watched.
But so the only thing that's really happened was we cut the cable, which was it's just bogus. But it all shifted online, so you can't fast forward through commercials. You can't record it because it's streaming on a platform that doesn't allow you to record it. And if you pause it, they do interstitial advertisements while you're pausing. So
It might be worse than it started.
So as people all around me say, at some point it's going to keep on hammering home that the only way to maximize benefit for the consumer is to sail the high seas. Unfortunately, and fortunately, I'm an ethical person who knows that when I don't pay for a service and you pirate it, you end up costing people food on the table. So I pay an exorbitant amount of money for all of these services and I get marginal benefit from it, but I want that little bit of benefit. So I guess I'll be paying for this streaming too. Oof.
Right, because that's probably not available on any other platform.
Yeah. I don't know. It just says CBS. It doesn't say CBS Plus or CBS Premium. Download another app, folks. Download another app.
Another CBS app.
CBS 2. Let's move on. Next article is over in the Continuity Report. I chose this simply because I like the idea of Tombstone. Old school westerns and cowboys in that era. It has neat world building capabilities, and
I think it's been a popular show too.
Yep. So 5 moments in Tombstone that really happened and 5 that were completely made up. Tombstone tells the unbelievable true story of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, 2 of the most notorious lawmen in the Wild West. The film has been praised for its surprisingly authentic portrayal of their lives, with the film sticking closely to the facts for the majority of the story. However, as with any film based on the truth, Tombstone has a few creative liberties to make the story flow more naturally. And this is what I was talking about, those true crime things. Like, if it's entertaining and stuff like that, then fine. And a little bit of fabrication and a lot of truth makes people really buy into it very deeply. So it's a loyal adaptation of the lives of Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp. So the article is over at Screen Rant. Jack Walters put the article together, and I want to run through this really quick. The shootout at the OK Corral was based on a real gunfight. Yep. There's all kinds of historical record for this. Won't go into it. Wyatt Earp didn't walk free after the OK Corral. The lawman had to face some consequences. However, one aspect of the true story that Tombstone fails to acknowledge is the consequences of the gunfight, which led to both Wyatt and Doc being imprisoned and tried for their crimes. Ike Clanton was actually responsible for pressing charges, ensuring that Wyatt faced justice for the murder of his brother. After a long trial process, Wyatt and his friends were cleared of all wrongdoing. You can't imagine why. Lawbreakers coming into a town.
I've got an idea.
Yeah. Wyatt barely faces any consequences for his violation or for his violence in the crime. But you can press charges against anybody, and until they're actually kicked, even with a modicum of evidence, you can face a trial. But you have to have somebody go, yeah, like that.
Right, which can be tough under those circumstances.
Yeah. So Wyatt and Virgil both accepted roles as Tombstone's law enforcers, and the film portrayed their jobs perfectly. Wyatt did actually spend lots of time at Tombstone and was responsible for much of its improvement as a city. He fought against the cowboys for many years, and Tombstone would have been a completely different town without him. Virgil Earp also played a large role in Tombstone's enforcement of law. As the film depicts, he's the most active of the Earp brothers in the city's police department, tackling all the petty crime in town. While the majority of the crime are Wyatt and Morgan went out and fought cowboys. Let's see, number 7 on this list is Wyatt and Virgil weren't hesitant to leave retirement. Wyatt's reasons for leaving retirement weren't so noble. He accepted the position extremely quickly, while Wyatt didn't have any trouble getting back into the business and making a profit from the town. Let's see. Virgil and Morgan were both ambushed by the cowboys. The Earp brothers found themselves victims of cowboy attacks. So after the fight at the OK Corral, the Earp brothers quickly became the Cowboys' most notorious targets. As depicted in the film, the gang swore that Wyatt and his brothers would face justice for their supposed crimes one way or another, and it's the ambush on Virgil and Morgan that ultimately sets Wyatt on his road to destruction. Number 5 is Virgil and Morgan's attacks didn't happen on the same night, so they muddle some of the details, but they probably merged it together just to keep consistency. Like they couldn't do an attack and then another
condensing it into time.
Yeah. So it says it's a small but a hugely important detail, as the space between Virgil and Morgan's ambushes was filled with political tensions. So, I mean, I guess if they extended the length of the movie, they could have tied that in there so that you get that political tension without it feeling rushed. But
the funny thing is, I would think if it was spaced out, it might actually look kind of fabricated, because it'd be like, really? Didn't we just have this happen?
Yeah, really? Oh, not again. Well, everybody would be on edge. People would be throwing rounds all over the place.
Right. But I think that, I mean, that might have been good for building tension, but I don't know if it would have been realistic looking.
Oh, see, it makes the entire scenario much more intense and fast-moving, whereas spreading them out would have ruined the pacing and lengthened the runtime. It's like I could be a director, right? Number 4, Curly Bill really murdered Tombstone's marshal in the street. The cowboy was responsible for the shocking death. Let's see. Based on the real-life dispute between Curly Bill and Marshal White, which resulted in the latter's death. It's a crucial moment in Tombstone's story, as it perfectly encapsulates the breakdown of law and order in the town. And that it says, following the chaos of the OK Corral shootout, Tombstone essentially falls into lawlessness, and the cowboy's power becomes even more dangerous. See, that's what happens. Sorry, I started to get distracted by something, but let's just move on. Hey, 7 Heavy, how are you? Wow, good to see you. Sailing, yeah, exactly. So in reality, Marshal Fred White's death was an accident. So Curly Bill didn't intend to shoot the marshal, or kill the marshal, I should say. This was confirmed by Fred White on his deathbed, which explains why Bill didn't face such drastic charges for the accident.
Okay, well, that's interesting, especially if that was a pivotal moment in this.
Interesting. So it was a complete accident that likely came about as a result of drunken behavior and heated gambling. So, I don't know. You know, if you get drunk and shoot somebody, I think...
Right. There's still some intent there.
It's more than an accident. So it's surprising that Kurt Russell rejected a directing credit for the film. It says here that although it's not totally accurate, Curly Bill's rampage is still one of the most shocking scenes in the movie. It's surprising that Kurt Russell rejected a directing credit for the film, because moments like these are crafted with such strong craftsmanship and a keen eye for detail that explains why Tombstone was such an enormous success at the time of release. Number 2, Doc Holliday was terminally sick with tuberculosis. The illness wasn't overplayed for the film. Yeah, I remember that. I had read about it, and then the movie actually brought it up. So it says, unfortunately, this aspect of Doc Holliday's life was the same in reality, and the real-life figure also died from his sickness. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a great representation. You can see him like getting sick more and more.
Oh, okay. Like he kind of goes downhill in the movie.
Yep. So Doc Holliday didn't kill Johnny Ringo. The reality was entirely different. The details surrounding Ringo's death are unclear, but Holliday couldn't have been responsible. The lawman was reportedly in a jail cell in Colorado at the time of Ringo's death. There are many theories surrounding the criminal's death, but most suspect that it was either a suicide or it came at the hands of another of Earp's men. Thankfully, Tombstone decided to opt for a more fulfilling conclusion to the story that gives Holliday his moment to shine. So, yeah, pretty cool. Basically, there was a duel between Wyatt Earp and Johnny Ringo, overcoming his illness to defeat the leader of the Cowboys in single combat. Yeah, the movie is just chock-a-block with people that command the screen. It's a blast.
Yeah, it looks like it has a good cast. I don't think I've seen it.
I have it, so I have to watch it again. Dun dun dun. Anyway, just drawing it all the way back up so that you can see Jack Walters is the author. It's over at screenrant.com. If you want to read more about it, because we skim over it really fast and kind of talk about it from our perspective, definitely go over and read some more about it. And I don't know, this is kind of one of the movies where I'd like to get the community together and do a watch party thing, but need more people to let us know that you're interested in that kind of thing. I mean, it's like cart before the horse, or all the people want to watch it and talk about it, or you do it first or do it after the community says, yeah, let's do it. You know, that kind of thing. I don't know. There's other people that do something like it, not exactly for what I have planned, but they did it after, like they did their own thing and posted it, and then people came and hung out. But I don't know. I want to do it live and hang out. It's just my nature. I don't like editing. I don't like planning stuff like that, where it's all scripted and all of the reactions are written down. Like, how did this get made, right? They take like all of these copious notes, and a lot of their interactions are like, they already know kind of what they're going to be talking about.
Right.
And I like everything being vamped, you know. It's just, you're in the Discord. 7 Heavy is in the Discord. Oh my goodness. I should be in the Discord too. Well, I'm everywhere. We're streaming over to YouTube as well. So, and that gets turned into a podcast. So I'm glad that you're hanging out in the Discord. I'll have to go and hang out more. I'm lazy. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't tell people. We have one more article, so let's move on. This next article is over in the Continuity Report. That's the name of the show. Hey, look at that. Hey, Megalopolis. Here's how you do a Critics Hated Our Movie trailer. Last month, the distributors of Francis Ford Coppola's, and it apparently is pronounced Coppola, not Coppola. A lot of people say Coppola, but I guess it's Coppola. I've always said Coppola, but anyway. I'm getting sidetracked, focusing on the wrong
sequitur.
Yeah. So Megalopolis got themselves in some self-inflicted trouble. Coppola? Oh, Heavy. Are you messing with my head? So they got some self-inflicted trouble, the distributors of the new movie Megalopolis, trying to get out ahead of the film's lackluster reviews by making a trailer that floated the idea that critics always hate Coppola's movies at first, before eventually hailing them as genius. The only issue with said approach, turns out, was that it was pretty blatantly untrue, at least among the big name critics the trailer creators wanted to cite. And all of the quotes in said trailer were completely made up, possibly by robots, so it just made everyone look rather lazy, dishonest, and stupid. By contrast, and then my snippet kind of stops, we don't aggregate everything that the source originally provides. I want you to go and click on the source, visit the source link, and then you get taken here. It's over at the avclub.com. William Hughes is the author. The deck statement says, new Dutch horror comedy Crazy House, which stars Nick Frost as a sitcom dad losing his mind, happily declares itself an edgelord wasteland. I won't go into playing it, but
why does that have anything to do with Megalopolis?
Because they're basically saying, see, Megalopolis, the trailer came out and it started citing all of these critics.
Right, the fake reviews. Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, this is how you do it right. So by contrast, please imbibe the following trailer for a new Dutch horror comedy, Crazy House, which uses a similar gambit, except every blistering negative quote is absolutely true.
Okay, that's kind of intriguing.
So I won't really, I won't play the audio, and it is going to be somewhat violent. So let's see if I can.
Younger viewers watch this.
Yeah. So it says like an adult film, an Adult Swim infomercial or commercial. Hold on, I need to back this up because there we go. Like an Adult Swim infomercial directed by black metal teenagers, and that's from IndieWire, but this is actually legit. Right? So then it's Crazy House, which looks like it's from the 80s, whatchamacallit, like a Will Smith 80s. Oh, yeah, why can't I not remember that?
Can't think of this show.
My God. Or some
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, that's it. It looks like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air kind of a thing. But it's called Crazy House, and it's all about a dad going crazy. And let's see if they've got another one. I don't want to play this whole video. I mean, it's got pots all over the floor. And this is like Daryl, and or, you know, my cousin Daryl and
something from Bob Newhart.
Yeah. So it's very much like that there. And then the whole thing is like an homage to 80s movies or TV shows. But then it goes dark. Let's see. Like a hard R Saturday Night Live sketch that's been taken way too far, says The Hollywood Reporter. So, but yeah, there's like too crazy for general consumption, says The Hollywood Reporter. An unhinged eruption of mayhem from Screen Rant. Yeah. I don't know if this would be ready for everybody or anybody, but if you're into this kind of thing, it says, but it's still a pretty clever attempt to position the film, which stars Nick Frost and Alicia Silverstone as stock 90s sitcom characters who violently lose their minds in the face of an ongoing home invasion, as too gonzo to miss. Are you kidding me? Alicia Silverstone is in this? Haven't seen anything.
But she's not an A-list actor anymore.
Wow.
Is she?
Just like Crazy House, shots fired. No, I haven't seen anything from Alicia Silverstone.
Exactly.
I don't know how long. But I wouldn't be surprised that she's like a billionaire and has a fashion line on the side like Selena Gomez.
Right.
Selena Gomez is a billionaire, for crying out loud. Last time I saw Selena Gomez, they were like that tall.
A kid, actor, yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild. Oh, it's like the other one, the singer from Megalopolis. Yeah, which we talked about yesterday. Anyway. See, Bob Dylan. Oh, no. Bob Dylan. My brain instantly thought Bob Newhart. Damn it. Anyway, Crazy House has an interesting pedigree, coming as it does from writer-director team Stefan Haars and is it really Flip Vanderkool?
What a name.
Who broke out in Dutch TV in the late 2000s as part of a sketch comedy show New Kids. Crazy House is their first English language film, and the film arrives on digital platforms on October 4th, just in time for Halloween.
I mean, I think they do get credit for the use of the horrendous reviews.
But they're legit reviews. See, but I don't think that they're really bad. They're literally statements that say just how crazy the Crazy House is. So I don't see it as being bad at all.
Yeah, the one about the wasteland.
Test the limits of taste, for crying out loud. That's a badge of honor. If you're trying to create something that's referred to as Crazy House, there's some bloody anarchic hand grenade of a film. IndieWire just destroyed them because there's more than one from IndieWire in this. That's from Screen Rant. See, test the limits of taste is IndieWire. There must be just one. Oh no, I can't do that. Exploding heads, sausage party, offensive, and all manner of other offensive subject matter. Yeah, I think maybe this will continue to get panned, but it'll be a cult film for years and years. I mean, it's not going to be Rocky Horror Picture Show fanatic, but it's going to be. There's still going to be.
It might be this generation's.
Well, like Zombieland, people are still infatuated with it. Whatchamacallit? There's a bunch of zombie films where everybody just loves them. We'll see what happens with this. I don't know. Maybe it'll lose something in the translation. It's an English language film, but it's still, Dutch culture type of
which could
cinematography.
Work or not work.
So I don't know. Maybe it depends.
From the reviews, it doesn't work.
the little bit that I saw, it says. Where is it? Well, I'm the one that said it. There was so much 80s scene because this is like that kind of a set. Ooh, where is it? That set reminds me of where the dad was the shoe salesperson, the shoe sales guy, and the daughter always wore slinky outfits, and the son was kind of a
Married with Children?
Yeah, Married with Children. The set kind of reminds me of Married with Children, but then there's All in the Family kind of a thing, and it's a composite of basically growing up. So if it wasn't for all of the blood and heads exploding, and there were a couple of other things which make me question a decision to watch it. But once I start a movie, I watch it all the way through, unless, of course, you can actually see the lighting and stuff like that in the ceiling. That was a weird movie. The one we walked out of. Well, I had to take
Yes, it was.
I had to pick you up and carry you out because you're on a Raspberry Pi, but sentient AI as you are. Anyway, that's it for Continuity Report. So we're going to turn off the camera and turn on the theater lights, and that'll pop us back to the Continuity Report. And I don't know, can we, let me refresh it. Doink. Let's see, maybe we got something new and interesting to talk about for next week. We won't talk about Megatron. I don't know, why is everything going a little slow today? Oh, interesting. I'm a little scared. I guess nothing. All right, folks. Well, that's it for tonight. I am Mayor Watt, and the sentient AI is going to say adios.
Good night, Untown citizens. Thanks for joining us for the Continuity Report.
Take care, everybody in chat, unless you want me to throw you somewhere. Hold on, let's see. Where can I throw y'all? Where do y'all want to go? Does anybody know where they want to be rated to? I can't raid you to Vegas, 7 Heavy. It's a little difficult. I don't know, I could probably buy tickets. No, I won't buy tickets. I'll throw you over to James and Michelle. Let's do that. We'll raid there. Yes, it's intended for adult or mature audiences, so I can't go. Take care, everybody. Thanks, 7 Heavy. Bye-bye.